traders, how's it going? Nick from Vant Trading here. So today we were a little too busy. A lot of our main traders, myself, Mike, and Tyler included, had a variety of things keeping us busy, and so our Vant and Rant podcast, which so far has taken place Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, had to be postponed. And so instead, I'm going to be posting this video today in the afternoon after all the market action has kind of subsided, giving you kind of my top plays from the day, some levels we're watching, some of the top stocks and commodities out there, some headlines to watch for, and what we think of the market action. So let's just dive on in. I'm just going to dive on in here. Feel free to like and subscribe if this video at all helped or was interesting, and if not, just drop a comment, leave us a question or comment or concern below. So looking at the market here, we really didn't do much. Let's be honest. If I pull up the SPY here, we really just kind of bled around and chopped around. I mean, this is about as choppy and just lethargic action as you could see on a Monday. And it was a Monday, still a decent amount of volume though for a Monday. And if we pull up tech, because let's be honest, tech is what's been kind of leading us lower and leading us around. Tech did finish red for the day, both in relative to the open and to Friday's close, and we're kind of right on this level here, and this is a level that I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on here on the Qs. So if I zoom on out here and kind of show you this right here, this little resistance that kind of turned support and then turned resistance again, and now is hopefully going to be support, is what I'm going to be watching going into tomorrow, because we did drop it, we dipped it, but they managed to hold it and bring us right back up. So that is semi-positive price action. We just do not want to see us roll back over, start breaking new lows, and start looking to test these lows again, because we are still putting in kind of these lower highs. So until this market can start pushing up towards this 330, not super convinced in tech at least. Looking at today's price action, I mean, I always say that, I'm watching the opening print and using VWAP both in conjunction as an indicator of who's in control for the day. Well, we really just kind of battled at the open here. Really, this is the only time where I thought, okay, maybe we actually have a chance to go higher today. They kind of failed that one off and then tested around the opening print, but never really held. This is the 1 minute, it's too noisy. If I show you the 5 minute here and we pull it up, I mean, we never held this opening print. We just couldn't do it. Now we battled around VWAP a little bit, and like I said, we dipped below, and we ended up closing on a relatively positive note, a little bit of strength as people kind of swung it back higher. But it's going to be curious to see if the market is able to get any oomph before the FOMC minutes on Wednesday. No real news out there, which was pretty interesting. So there was nothing really catalyzing the market in either direction. If we pull up the IWM, you'll see small caps actually got a little bit of a bounce here, stopped right at yesterday's highs, kind of a nice little level here. And if we're going to gap over this, then they could give us a little bit of pop going into tomorrow. So honestly, I think all eyes are just going to be on where we're opening tomorrow. If we get a headline that manipulates us in either direction, I'd like the SPY to get over these highs here. And if they can, then I think we're looking pretty solid, at least for the short term. In terms of some of the top stocks that were in play and have been in play, I've been talking about this Coinbase short forever. I know Mike's been talking about it forever as well. We've been talking about it since the IPO day, since we failed 300, since we failed 300 again, and lower and lower and lower we go. I mean, Coinbase is just dying. I'm pretty sure they've seen insiders selling out the wazoo, and they just did a nice fat secondary convertible offering. So that's even further dilution in the stock. We're seeing this thing sitting at the lows, really looking threatening. Tomorrow, if this thing breaks the lows here, I think you have really good potential on a short on this one as well. We never got back up to the opening print, so there wasn't really a day trade on this one today, I'd argue. We kind of chopped around along with the rest of the market, but I think this one could be setting up for something, hopefully, as we now are sitting at lows. And the fact that, we're seeing Bitcoin completely implode here, dropping off. I talked about the news this morning. Obviously, Elon Musk was a big part of that, constantly tweeting about Bitcoin over the weekend, and the IRS mentioned that they're launching a crackdown to make sure crypto investors pay their taxes. So we even saw, wrong thing, Ethereum pull back pretty hefty as well. So going to keep an eye on both these commodities to see if maybe we get a little bit of buying opportunity at some point soon. Now, with the with crypto dropping, with the market kind of sogging around, not doing much, with rates just kind of hanging out, it kind of became gold's day to shine here today. So gold managed to get through the nice resistance that Tyler's been talking about. It got through this little descending resistance line. We're through the 200-day. Gold is really starting to see a little bit of oomph on it as we're seeing a sogginess in crypto, a sogginess in the market, sogginess on rates. There's nothing else. So, hey, it's gold's time to shine, baby. So really strong day on gold, and if you used that as a thesis today based on crypto, then great job, really good thesis, really congrats. Yeah, nice breakout here, some nice trading on gold and silver as well. Just all of kind of the metals and the commodities going higher. Looking at oil and gas just kind of chopping around, not doing too much here, sitting at the highs here. So I'm hoping we get a little bit of continuation on the breakout sometime soon. Reopening plays and headlines have been good. Nice little resistance level here to watch. Definitely going to be keeping an eye on oil to hopefully continue to push us higher. But we will see. Some of the other stocks that I called out this morning, some good plays. For example, DBGI. Now, this chart itself may not look attractive, but this thing IPO'd on Friday. BS company closed at $2.80. In the after hours, it got all the way up to $9. No news whatsoever, just decided to spike. And then, by the time there was the open, I had mentioned, well, look, we're selling off, we're crashing, it's all falling apart. This thing's probably dead in the water. And because of that, we just never could get above VWAP. They had their fun in the sun, so I was leaning short on this one. And even if you waited, you watched it battle around VWAP, look at this nice little cliff they gave you here. Nice little short sell. And yes, oh no, this is only 40-50 cents. That's over 10% in the stock. So, some people don't like trading these. That's perfectly fine and understandable. If you do like trading penny stocks or smaller price stocks, this was a nice 10% short you could have had. Pretty easy, low risk. A couple other stocks, some of these may be more attractive. Doordash had a similar kind of setup here, just midday. Nice little kind of low here off of 134. We ended up plunging off. If you took a little scalp position, you had a nice little drive there, something I saw when I was looking at it after the fact. EJH was an interesting one. I mentioned, you probably shouldn't touch this one unless it slows down, gives you a little bit cleaner price action, so on and so forth. Another stock that IPO'd on Friday, and then squeeze from 16 up to 80 in the pre-market. So in the morning, obviously, like you would expect, no edge whatsoever, halted all over the place, and not fun to trade. I would never recommend it. Almost looks like it may have given you an opportunity here, and again, I wasn't watching it. Now, this was a very thin stock, so I really don't recommend anyone trade it, but if you're a little more experienced and you can understand the pattern and the setup, you may have had a decent little short opportunity as we plunged off here on EJH. Talking about other stocks that I've been short biased for some time now, like Coinbase, Tesla. Tesla's been a fantastic short for us. It's been absolutely maniacal, and I've been getting a lot of good setups on this one. Now we're just kind of battling around right here at lows. This is the battleground here, folks. This is the spot where we are trying our best to hold. And if we start breaking these weekly lows here, it could get ugly in Tesla. So definitely keeping an eye on Tesla going forward. I'm going to watch these lows here, see if we dip buy off of these, or if it becomes kind of a nice little nail in the coffin short on Tesla. Keeping an eye on that one. In terms of two other stocks that are setting up here, NEO, NEO's trying to get back up above this level here. This was nice little support. Now it's nice little resistance. If I pull up the intraday, we are making these higher lows. So this one may be in play tomorrow. Again, another stock that just kind of chopped around and didn't do too much yesterday, kind of failed at the resistance level twice, and then just kind of fettered around. Same deal with Palantir. Palantir is looking mighty fine, like it almost wants to break out here, sitting at the highs, looking pretty good on the daily here, kind of wedging up almost. So tomorrow might be a nice little breakout day in Palantir if it can get some volume. Talking about a nice short from today, Disca. Disca got a nice little gap up today on on things saying that AT&T might be partnering or buying Disca or HBO and all of this stuff, and that they might be creating a new content company essentially. So they got a nice little pop-up here. I thought we'd get a little bit of short covering, to be honest, because we were getting up above this little resistance/support line here. They ended up selling it off prior to the open. We opened up below that level, and then that was pretty much it. There was never any argument of strength in this stock. So you had some nice little flag breaks. If you were looking for the gap fill, you got that and then some. That's a pretty nasty move on Disca. AT&T, conversely, same kind of deal. Gapped up on all those headlines, and look at that unfettered. Look at this channel. that AT&T is in. Oh my good golly gracious. Now some of this may be merger arbitrage. I don't think deals or anything or any kind of numbers or anything was actually put out there. So this is just kind of crazy action. This one's going to be in play tomorrow. Just based on this alone, I want to see what this one does. But that's some pretty nasty price action. So pretty crazy if you were watching that. Another play today was Twitter. Twitter announcing their Twitter Blue thing, which is their kind of their, whatever they're going to do for their paid service that Twitter's going to be adding. I thought maybe that would get us a little bit of buying, maybe some short covering, and we're kind of doing that. We're kind of battling around the 200 days. So this one may be in play tomorrow. You got a little bit of an end of day pop. Nothing too much though. Like the rest of the market, it kind of chopped around. A couple other stocks. I was watching AMC. I really wanted that breakout today because we were getting some pre-market volume. And lo and behold, we wedged our way up, broke up to this level, and yet again failed. Yet again, we failed off this level. But look at where we are in the after hours, by the way. So this one's going to be in play tomorrow. This one failed in the morning. It was a nice little attempt. But then after that, it just kind of chopped around. But now it looks like this one could be in play and fun tomorrow. A couple other stocks that I've seen that are just kind of going crazy and looking fun. BTU, this one's been looking like it's starting to run a little bit on the daily. No news whatsoever. Nice little spike in volume. So I'll see what this one's setting up for tomorrow, as well as DDS. Dillard's has been running, going from 100 to 150 in about 2 days here. So we've had some crazy price action in Dillard's. I did see that they're declaring a 15-cent cash dividend and a $500 million share repurchase program. That was on, I believe, over the weekend. So getting a little bit of headlines, getting some pop. I'm curious to see, volume is still ascending, so we could get a little more action on this one today. We will see, but those are just two stocks that I noticed that were going absolutely bananas. In terms of stocks to watch for tomorrow's earnings, Baidu, a lot of Chinese names. I definitely would not be playing them into earnings, especially with how uncertain these China names are right now. Baidu, IQ, Hoya. A lot of those stocks are sitting at lows. You also have something like Home Depot. Home Depot and those home builders still kind of seeing that weakness in them today. I'm a little worried as to what their guidance may be going forward, considering we're seeing a softening in that housing market. Macy's as well reports they've had a hell of a strong 2 days here. Nice little resumption. And Walmart as well. I'm curious to see what Walmart reports tomorrow morning before the open. That's really going to be it tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8:30 we'll have the housing starts and permits, but today was just kind of an inside day, and we never were able to establish ourselves in either direction. Hopefully you have markers on your screens or some way to determine that it's going to be an inside day and help you avoid chop and avoid stuff like this, because it's nasty. I'm not upset that we missed today's trading. It does not look fun, and so you gotta develop methods and ways to manage your risk and understand that, okay, sometimes the buyers and sellers they don't have it. No one's in control. So we'll see if we get something else tomorrow. Like I said, I'd like to see us be gapping up, maybe start breaking through these highs, and then we'll see ourselves really squeeze higher. And then maybe we'll puke off after that. But we'll see. Who knows what overnight will bring, and who knows what tomorrow will bring. But that was it. I just wanted to give a little clarification on what we were looking at. And we'll be back as always tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, with our Vant and Rant podcast. Both myself, Mike, and Tyler will be on. And then also we'll be there tomorrow morning for the morning market analysis. I appreciate all your patience. We apologize that we actually had to duck out for one of those episodes, but we will see you all tomorrow, and as always, safe trading.